Hello friends, it's me, Miss Christina, and I'm here with our third virtual book club. This time we'll be reading a Mercy Watson book, which are some of my favorite early chapter books. Mercy Watson is this animal right here, and this is the third book in her series. There are 7 or 10 of them, and this one is called Mercy Watson Fights Crime. Kate DiCamillo is the author, and she has stories for younger kiddos and also middle chapter books, so all the way up until middle school. There are some really fabulous stories written by this author. She's just one of my favorites, and the illustrations are by Chris Van Dusen. And something fabulous about this book are these illustrations. They're so colorful, they're so big and bold, and you can see that this is a shorter chapter book with less words on the page. So this one won't take us as long to read as our number 2, Zoe and Sassafras. This is intended for maybe first graders to read on their own, kids who are ready to try some longer stories. But these I find are great for all ages. They're entertaining, they're funny, the pictures are engaging, and the stories are just the right length for preschoolers to hear in a few sittings or for bigger kids to hear also. So here we go with book club number 3, Mercy Watson Fights Crime. There she is. What do you notice about Mercy Watson? She's not any ordinary pig, is she? We'll get to meet her here in chapter 1. Let's make sure we can all see. There we go. Okay. Chapter 1. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Each night they sing the pig to sleep. Then they go to bed. "Good night, my dear," says Mr. Watson. "Good night, my darling," says Mrs. Watson. "Oink," says Mercy. Most nights, Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy all sleep soundly in their beds. But there was one night when they did not. What do you think is going to happen? That's chapter 1. Shall we read on and find out? Chapter 2. Can you make a guess about what will happen? All right, let's see. Chapter 2. Leroy Ninker was a small man. He was a small man with a big dream. Leroy Ninker wanted to be a cowboy. But in the meantime, he was a thief. He was a thief in the kitchen at 54 Deckawoo Drive. Leroy Ninker was robbing the Watsons. Oh my. "Yippee-yi-oh!" sang Leroy. "Everything must go!" He grabbed hold of the toaster. He pulled it across the counter toward him. "Screech!" went the toaster. "Shh!" said Leroy. He tossed the toaster into his bag. Clang! went the toaster. "Shh!" said Leroy again. Chapter 3. Can you tell what's going to happen now? Chapter 3. Screech! Mercy woke up. Screech was the sound of a toaster made when it was being pulled across the kitchen counter. Mercy Watson loved toast. She particularly loved toast with a great deal of butter on it. Mercy got out of bed. She pricked up her ears. She listened. Mercy heard Mr. Watson snoring. She heard Mrs. Watson snoring. Who was downstairs making toast? Mercy went to the top of the stairs. She looked down into the darkness. Clang went the toaster. Clang was the sound the toaster made when Mrs. Watson turned it upside down to clean out all the crumbs. Somebody was making toast. Mercy went down the dark, dark stairs. She headed for the kitchen. How's she feeling right now? Is she scared or worried? Or is she excited and happy? So she thinks something is happening. But we know from chapter 2, we know something is happening, right? So that was chapters 1 through 3, and that's all we're going to do this time. Next time we'll read 4, 5, and 6. Here's a little peek at chapter 4. I'll see you next time to read on in Mercy Watson Fights Crime. Thanks for joining me. Bye.